This is going to be my last update on Kyle Larson until or unless something develops. Of course, the reaction was swift after he used a racial slur during an iRacing event Sunday. Yesterday, first Chip Ganassi Racing, and then NASCAR suspended him. And NASCAR said they're going to require sensitivity training for him to come back. Also, Credit One Bank, McDonald's, and Chevrolet, the manufacturer, said we are severing our relationship with Kyle Larson. And plus one other minor sponsor. Now, one sponsor who looked to me like it was on his open wheel cars said they thought it was a one-time thing and they were going to stick with him. Of course, that's up to the individual companies. So today, Chip Ganassi Racing, in what looks like a very carefully worded statement, saying we are ending our relationship with Kyle Larson. Now, he's probably under contract, but you got to remember something. Most public figures have morals clauses in their contract. I've heard radio hosts talk about it, and they're probably saying he violated the morals clause. Of course, the contracts are not public. So Kyle Larson, as expected, will be out of a ride once NASCAR does get back running. If you ask me, I say they'll put Ross Chastain in the car, the 42 vacated by Larson. I'll tell you why. Ryan Newman should be ready to come back by then, and he'll be back in the 6th, the Roush car. But that's speculation. But there's one more interesting development in the Larson situation. One co-owner of a 4-car team has said, I'd love to have Kyle Larson drive for me, and that's Tony Stewart. Now, there's speculation, apparently, and I do not know this for sure, I was unable to find this, Clint Bowyer's in a contract year, that they may try to replace Clint Bowyer with Kyle Larson next year. But here's the problem with that. I think he'd have trouble getting sponsors. That's a Ford team. I'm not sure Ford would want him. Gene Haas may have to bankroll that out of his pocket, the other principal in Stewart Haas Racing. But he's done it before, so you never know. But it's too early to tell. But one thing for sure, Kyle Larson and Chip Ganassi have parted ways, which I don't see where Ganassi had any choice. He could not afford to lose 3 major sponsors like that. And there's one other thing about Kyle Larson. Before all this went down, he had been a member of the Coca-Cola racing family. Well, for whatever reason, and it was not made public, Coca-Cola terminated its relationship with Kyle Larson. Now, that could have been something innocent. They could have caught him drinking a Gatorade somewhere. Gatorade, if you didn't know, is a Pepsi product. Powerade's a Coca-Cola sports drink. So if you didn't know, you think back several years ago when Jimmy Johnson was winning a bunch of races and they would put Powerade on the car, on the roof, Jimmy and Chad would knock them off the roof. Well, the reason behind that was the Hendrick team that Jimmy Johnson drives for is Pepsi. They have Mountain Dew on their cars sometimes, or various Mountain Dew drinks, which is a Pepsi product. So it could have been something as simple as drinking Pepsi, or frankly, they could have been unhappy with Kyle's wife shotgunning a beer, literally. It's hard to say, but I'm not sure if Gene Haas can't bankroll Kyle Larson if they try going there. I'm just not sure he can get sponsors. He's going to have to really do some fence mending to get major sponsors. Frankly, his days in top-notch equipment may be over.